morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Sean Thomas, and I'm a solution consultant with Infor, specializing in the CloudSuite Industrial product. In today's video snippet, we're going to be focusing on a product that integrates with CloudSuite Industrial, and that product is called Ephesoft. Now, Ephesoft does a lot of things in terms of OCR and AI, but today we're going to focus on accounts payable and specifically with vendor and supplier invoices and how that translates into a voucher within CloudSuite Industrial. Some common challenges within this space are managing physical paperwork can be arduous and time-consuming. There's too much volume to keep up with, and ultimately manual processes are prone to errors, they create extra steps, and they can lead to delayed payments. Some of the reasons behind those challenges, well, again, creates more work requiring additional resources and increased costs, and paperwork needs to be nearly perfect in order to scan properly. A solution to those issues are CSI's out-of-the-box integration with Ephesoft. You can capture large volumes of documents and automatically extract data in minutes, and you can maximize efficiencies, accelerate processes, and boost your return on investment. The Ephesoft solution extracts invoice data fast and at industry-leading accuracy. Ephesoft puts artificial intelligence and optical character recognition to work in order to capture and classify invoices automatically within minutes. Ephesoft helps businesses run more efficiently and respond to changes quicker by automatically classifying, separating, sorting, and extracting data from various types of documents. In this example, we'll be focusing on accounts payable and how invoices get processed, how a copy of that invoice is captured in the ERP using organic document management, and how the AP voucher is created all in one swift and efficient process. So we're going to start by diving into CloudSuite Industrial, and specifically we're going to focus on the AP vouchers and adjustments screen. So as you can see here, there is no vouchers currently sitting within my system. So there are no vouchers created, currently sitting, queued up, waiting to be posted. And that's because I want to show you a proof of concept by uploading an invoice. We can ultimately voucher within the system. So I'm going to pull up Ephesoft, and specifically I'm going to start from the home screen here. And this is actually what we would call the workbench screen. So as an administrator or a user of the tool set, we actually are able to view batches, scan new documents, upload new documents. So the invoice that we're going to focus on in this particular example, as I open up Microsoft Word here, is Bicycle Supplies Inc. Now you can see here, this is for a specific company, the PO number, the quantity, the description, the unit price, etc. This is just a typical invoice that you're going to upload into the system. So just so we have some background information, we're going to go ahead and open that up. What I'm going to do here is close out of this and actually come back to the batch screen. So this particular screen is where you can actually upload documents. Now I'm going to do this manually, just as an example. So I'm going to click, drag and drop, and I'm going to dump an invoice in here to create a batch. Now over on the left-hand side, you're going to see upload speed, kilobytes per second. You're going to see file name, so on and so forth. So where do I go from here? Well, realistically, I got to select the batch, and then I've got to start the batch. So I make sure I have a batch class chosen, and I click start batch. And once I click start batch, it's going to successfully queue that up. So now that we've uploaded an invoice, we're going to focus on my batches. So I'm back at the home screen. We're going to click into view my batches. We're going to pop into the batch list, and you're going to see the batch that we just queued up actually went through the OCR process and scanned all the relevant information, and now the system is actually asking me to validate some information. So if I click on this particular batch and I click open, that's going to bring up the actual copy of the invoice on the right hand side, and then it's going to bring up some line by line information over here on the left hand side. So I've got a couple of options here. So I can go into table view, and this is actually where the lines are actually deciphering. So you can see I could have multiple lines coming down the screen here. So there's no issues with the quantity, the unit price, the item, etc. It is asking me to validate the PO number. I actually have this set up as an example. So when something needs to be validated, it's going to pop up as red. But as soon as I actually confirm that the number of digits, everything matches up, I can click validate. And once I click validate, it's going to say the batch has been completed. So what's going to happen now is actually that's going to go through a three-way match within the system. So it's going to tie to a receipt of goods, it's going to tie to the purchase order, and the vendor invoice number is going to tie all back within CloudSuite Industrial. And it's going to go through that three-way match process, and it's actually going to create a voucher for us. So I'm going to close out Ephesoft here, and I'm going to pop back into CloudSuite Industrial. And as you can see here, an invoice popped up on the back end. So when I created that particular transaction within Ephesoft, now you can see that a voucher has been created. So here's my invoice 003-04-268241. It created voucher 1420. You can see there's the $1.65 amount. You can see down below, it's gone through a three-way match within the system and it's been authorized. If I click on the upper right-hand corner of my screen, and I come down to related information, you can see a copy of that invoice has been saved against this particular transaction. So not only is this voucher been created and it's ready for my AP team to actually go through and distribute cash to my supplier, a copy of that invoice has gone and saved itself within the document management system. So Ephesoft truly is tied back into the system organically. It's linked to document management, it's linked to the system going through a full formalized match, and it's fully capable of doing a multi-line vendor invoice, ultimately getting us to a voucher that's been created, allowing us to post the voucher and then actually distribute cash. So there's a lot of functionality within this tool set. So popping back into PowerPoint, so some of the challenges that we've talked about today, managing physical paperwork being arduous and time consuming, manual processes being prone to errors, creating extra steps, leading to delayed payments. Automating this process within Ephesoft and CloudSuite Industrial is really going to save you time, ultimately save you money, and really bring back return on investment to your solutions. That way we can give your team the time to actually focus on other parts of their jobs and really be productive in taking your business to the next level. So this has been a video snippet of CloudSuite Industrial, specifically of the Ephesoft tool set and how that ties back to CloudSuite Industrial. We hope you enjoy, and we look forward to talking to you soon.